Welcome back to the channel. So today we will be solving this consecutive days PySpark scenario based interview question. This is day 3 of the 30 days PySpark interview series. So let's see what is the challenge. Given is user table for identify dates where a user has logged in for 5 or more consecutive days. Okay, so basically in this input table, we have been given this user ID and login date, and we need to find the user who has logged in for 5 or more days, right? Consecutive days. So this word is important because the entire problem statement revolves around this consecutive days word only. Return the user ID, start date, end date, and the number of consecutive days sorting based on the user ID. Okay, so basically this is the what we need. So basically, let's say this user one, uh, if you see here, he has like there are two records where we have the more than 5 days which he has visited to the office, you can say, right? So here if you can see that this date are spanning between the 25th of March to the 30th of March, and the total days are 6, right? Similarly for the this third user also, the user ID 3, and we like have the user from 1 to 4, but 4 and 2 have not like logged in for 5 or more times, right? So this is what we need. And if you see here, this last sentence, if a user logged in consecutively 5 or more times but not spanning 5 days, then they should be excluded. Okay, so if you see here, let me explain it. So if you see here, user 4, right? So this has come on first, second, third, and on fourth, but on fourth he has come for the 2 times. So altogether this is only 4 days, right? But he has visited for the 5 day, so 5 times, right? There are 5 login records. So these kind of record we should exclude it, right? We should exclude it. Similarly, if you see here for user 2, since these two users are not there in the output, let us understand these. So basically here, if you see, this user has come for 4 days only, right? So we should not include this. We need only the record where this is like the count is greater than or equal to 5. And similarly for user 1, if you see, we have 2 records, right? This user, like from 10th of March to 14th of March, he has come consecutively. So let's see those records. So from the 10th to 14th, so if you see, he has come continuously. So this record is there. Similarly from 25th to 30. So this is 25th to 30, he has come consecutively. So we have that record also. And for user 3, let's see. So for user 3, if you see here, he has come on 1, 2, 3, and there are multiple login on 4th and then 5th, right? So this is also, so we can have the duplicates record. So this is one of the observation. We can have the duplicates entry, right? So this is the like the basically the input and the output. So to solve this problem, I think since we have already solved these kind of question on our YouTube channel, so one way is r- row number, right? We using row number, we create a group and solve this problem. But the issue in row number is we like this solution doesn't work if we have the days like 01, let's say 30th, 31st, 01, 02, and we generate a row number 1, 2, 3, 4. So what will happen if we take a difference between, so this is basically a days column and this is a row number. So the issue is the difference between these two is 29, difference between these two is um, 29, and difference between these two becomes -2, and similarly -2. So this doesn't make a proper group, right? So that's why here in this problem, to solve this issue, we will be using dense rank, and we will take a difference between login date minus dense rank. And this are not on day, basically, we will take a difference entirely on the date column. Second, once we have this, then this basically create a group, right? So once the group is created, then what we can do, we can group the data on id comma this group column, right? This group column. And once we group the data, then we can easily find the start and the end date, right? Start and end date. And once we have these two, then we can easily find the count, right? So this is what the fourth step in which we will be solving this problem. So I think if you understood the approach, so you may pause the video and try to solve this. I will provide the create statement in the description section, right? So let's jump to the Databricks notebook and solve this problem. So here, if you see, this is the data, right? We are creating the data frame. And here one additional step is involved. That is, here if we create a data, this is a string type, right? We need to convert this string column into a date column, right? So okay, so here if you see, we have printed the data, we have 33 records. And now if you see the schema, this login date is string, we need to convert this to date column. So for that, we are importing uh, toDate function, and using toDate, we are like just uh, converting that column into the, okay, let me use the display since we have uh, number of record more than 20, else we will have to pass that number basically in the parenthesis. So yes, if we see, we have 33 record, and now if we print the schema, we can see that we have date, right? Okay, now here the solution starts. So basically what we need to do, we need to generate this dense rank column, right? So we can write dense rank, okay, dense rank, and we can write dense rank dot over, and we need to write the window. So window dot partition by what? So basically, if you see, we need to find the start and end with respect to user ID, right? So we should partition the data on user ID, and in which order? Login date order, right? Because we need to find the consecutive things. So we can write over here partition by user ID, and then once the data is partitioned, then we can write order by column login. What was the column in login date? We can write login date, right? And let me display this. Okay, so here if you see, we have imported dense rank, we have imported window, right? So these two are we are using, so we need to import these two. So let's import dense rank from here, and window we have in from pyspark.sql import window. So these two we need. Okay, these are imported. Now let's run this. Column is not callable, where we are making a mistake. Have we closed the parenthesis properly? Okay, I think here we have made mistake. So this should be like this. I think now this should work. Yes. Basically, we had written the order outside the over. Okay. Now if we see, we have the dense rank column over here, right? So now the next thing what we can do, we can find the difference. So the difference in the login date and this date dense rank column, right? Let's do that quickly. So we can write df2 equal to df1 dot mm, with column. Why with column? Because we need to create a new group, right? So group dot difference between this login date and tr. So we can write login date minus column dr and df2 dots display. Okay, now you can see the difference between, let me explain with the pen. Okay, so if you can see March 1st minus 1, that is 29th of Feb. Similarly, these like 29, again difference is this 29, difference between these two 29, difference between these two this. So if you can see, these are same, right? Because these days were consecutive. So what we can do, we can use user ID and group column, and we can group the data on these two column and take the min and max of login date, right? So this is what the approach is, and basically this trick works in all such scenario where we need to find the consecutive days. So let's do that. So we can write df3 equal to df2 dot group by on user ID comma group, and we can have the aggregate. We need to find the min of login date, and we can alias this as start date. Similarly, we can have the copy of this and paste it here and write max, and here we can write this as end date, right? And we can print this. Column is not retrievable. Okay, so basically here we are using min and max. Then since we are doing this operation on the column level, so we need to import min and max also. Let's run this. Okay, so we have only 8 records now, right? Because there were total 8 distinct track groups. So now if you see, for this group, we have the start date and end date. For this group, we have started and ended this. Similarly for the other group, right? So now we have the start date and this also. Now the next thing is finding the consecutive count, right? To find that consecutive days count, what we can do, once we have the start and end, then we can simply like subtract the start date with end date, and we can get the that count, right? So we can write df answer equal to df4. Have we used 4? No, 3. So 3 dot with column. Why with column? Because we need to create one new column, that is consecutive days, and we can simply write column end date. Okay, so for this one we can use the date diff, right? So date diff of end date comma column start date, right? And let me run this. Df answer dot display. Here we can use so now because we have 8 records only. So we'll get error. This is also not closed, and date diff is also not in like imported. So let's import this function. We have these things. Let's run this. Okay, so now if you see the difference, let me explain you one catch over here. So if you see here, the start date is 1 and the end date is 4. The difference it is 3, like the 4 minus 1, this is 3, right? But the count of days would be 4, right? Why? So let's say the user has gone on first, second, third, and then fourth. That's why we have the entry for fourth also. The count is what? Count is 4, right? The difference is 3 between these numbers, but the count is 4. Similarly for other, let's say for let's say this one, 25th to 30. So 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So altogether this is how many count? 6, right? So what we need to do, we need to, while taking the difference, we need to add 1 to each and every record, right? So let's do that. So here what we need to do, once we have the count, then we need to just add 1. Let me run this. Now you can see we have proper, right? So I think we have everything, right? We just now need to write the filter to filter the record basically. So let's do everything over here only. So once this is done, then we can write the filter on this column. We need only the record where this is greater than or equal to 5, right? And let me run this. So we have only these three records, and once this is there, then we can select our required output. So we can write select of what? Okay, instead of writing call, we can have user ID, start date, end date, and this consecutive days column. So we can have it here and we can run. Yes, so this is what we need. And since we sorted the data on user ID, so data is already sorted. So we don't need that. And we have the correct output 565. Okay, let's see here. 565. Yes. So yes, if you like this content, please do like, subscribe, share the channel. And if you are new to this channel, you can check out our other playlists also. We have a lot of content on interview related to PySpark, DSA, Pandas, Python, SQL, right? So let's meet in the next problem. Until then, bye.